Hey family, we are live, broadcasting live. This is the Conversation Room 101. Make sure it's only adults in the house. I need your mind to be open, prepared, and relaxed. Welcome to our home. Take your shoes off. We got some rules we need to go over. Be kind. No cursing in the chat. If you want to curse, call in. And no shouting out other channels. That's a no-no. We got one other rule. There is no judging our guests. It will not be permitted. Zero tolerance. And if so, you want to do that, guess what? We got security. And we will escort you out. Because over here, hashtag we don't care. We're going to be one big family. We're going to laugh together sometimes. We're going to cry. But we definitely going to pray. I thank the Lord above for everything. I lift him up and give him the glory. But you guys, right now, we're going to get our popcorn. And then we're going to see what's going on. And let me just park my car. And I'll be in there in a minute. I'll see you soon.
Loving on Children Child Care presents a new child care that you can bring your child with and we can have fun. It's in the Buck County, but she also cares for kids that's in the Philadelphia area also. She has first shift openings, she provides the meals, and she has virtual learning. Bring your kids on over here and we can play all together at Loving on Children. And you can reach her at ashlynwilliams76@gmail.com. The link is down below.
Like, share, subscribe.
Do you want to know? Well, I've been thinking about you. And I think I have to listen. Because the sun is up, it's a beautiful day.
We won't stop. We will not stop.
Sun. Come, won't you come along? And it feels so bright, it's like luck is raining on me. Go and follow your heart, doesn't matter how far. There is so much love to give, something's telling me this time. Baby, baby, now
See this? Now you cannot go
baby,
again.
baby, gotta go. There is so much love to give, something's telling me it's right.
Neighbors and the
When you
community
came to me,
compelled
who
to
are
scour
you?
the area.
It's you, yeah, boy.
Where does the fault lie on you?
Hey family, how's everybody doing? Thank you guys for showing on up in the building. Let me see who's all in the building. You know, you guys, hey Valerie, how you doing? Hey Sanja Watts is in the building. Tina Powers is in here. We got Lisa Calhoun, we got Zena, Lisa Calhoun, and we got Ruby Turner, and we got Marsha Poole in the building. Let's see who's up in here. We got Tina Powers, Amori. Hey, Amori. How you doing, Amori? Zena's in here. Zena, Ruby Turner, Sanja Watt. I was reading all of this. So you guys, I really forgot it was Wednesday. Because you guys know that Monday, we just kind of came on for a little bit, celebrated my birthday, came on, said, hey, what's going on, and everything. But you guys, hey, Miss Dee Dee, I see you in the building. How are you doing, Crystal? How are you doing? Because I see somebody saying hi to Crystal, but I didn't see your name. So I'm going to say, hello, Crystal. So anyway, you guys, we got this Christmas in July coming up on the 27th. And you know what? I think we're going to do it late in the afternoon. Around about, We're not going to do it in the morning. Let's do it around about 8. 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. And the reason why I'm going to tell you guys, okay, I know sometimes we do things under y'all's schedule, but if you want to do it Thursday, it's going to have to be in the evening. If you want to do it at about 1 o'clock p.m., it got to be doing Sunday. Because I got some tests I got to take 8 o'clock in the morning. And I want to not take those tests, but you know what? I'm going to go ahead and take them. Matter of fact, I need to make the phone call, and I'll do it tomorrow. I'll do it tomorrow. But they got me scheduled to take some tests, to test in some classes on the 27th. And I've got to take these tests before August. So, and they didn't tell me that. And I wish they would have told me that. You know what I'm saying? And it's a big thing. But anyway, you guys, so we'll talk about that next Friday, this coming Friday coming up. But for sure, or I might even take the tests on the 20th and get it in and get it out. But I'm going to tell you, I got 2 chances to take these tests. So that's why I said I probably need to hurry up and get in there and take it on the 20th, come back, and if I didn't do well, retake it on the 27th. Then I know what I'm working with. But it's 2 tests, so they don't do the tease test no more, whatever. You guys understand. I'm a little bit upset with them, and I just got through talking to Papa about it, venting, and he's looking at me, and I know half of the things I'm saying to him, he don't even understand. But I don't like people playing with my emotions. Get me into something, told me everything's going to be well and good, and then turn around and act like you don't even, like this is a whole brand new conversation. And you know what I'm saying? Like, did you forget? You act like you forgot everything that you said. And now you got me enrolled in classes in the school. And you guys are not even going to do what you told me you was going to do, which is fine. I don't need nobody to do nothing for me if it ain't right or whatever. But don't lie to me or don't swindle me into something and then act like you don't even understand. Like this is our first conversation. You guys told me that a lot of my classes you were going to go ahead and grandfather in, and now all of a sudden it's a whole big problem. You know what? I can take my education. I can take my education somewhere else. Because this is not my first rodeo. So anyway, it's all good in the hood. I'm not even worried because it's crazy. But if I told you the whole concept of what's going on, you would be like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. This is why people get frustrated. But anyway, I want to share with you guys what's going on this Rudy case. And I think I'm going to pronounce his name Farias, or Farias, because it's Farias, Farias. So I know it's Spanish, and that may not be the way to pronounce it, but Farias is probably the best way to pronounce this case. Okay? Rudy Farias, he just sit down with the reporters. You guys, this young lad that's 25 that was missing 8 years ago, that really wasn't missing, and his mom was telling him he's going to jail. Now, I've got a problem. Woke to God is in the building. Thank God. I see you, Freddie. I see you in the house. She said something's wrong. Maybe it's the weather. With her computer. I got your message. So, we talk about this case, and I've been waiting all day, trying to sleep and wait, and just, I'm gonna tell you something, you guys. When you're doing something and it ain't really making, sometimes you just need to back up, mind your own business, stay in your lane, don't complain. I ain't complaining. That's why I come to you guys and say, yeah, 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 yeah. That's why I do that. But I don't go to them and do it. No, I ain't two-faced. I'm just saying I don't let them see me sweat. And I ain't really sweating because it don't really matter. I'm already, who I am. I'm already comfortable. But I don't like people lying to me and playing games. I don't like that. So that takes a lot of your integrity. I had utmost respect. I was glad to be a part of a certain school. But when you're doing stuff like that, it's like almost like the freaking job that I'm working at. It's like I sit back and watch people do stuff like that. Oh, you called me several. I didn't have that phone around me. That phone been charging. I had my main phone around me because I'm waiting on my advisor to call me because, I could have acted a clown, a pure fool today. I was heated, but I didn't let him know. Like, I'm finna take my stuff and go to another school because I was just in like, here's the thing. So there's a school over here called Cali. And you know the song. I was just singing it to Papa. So, I like, and I really love Wichita State. I really do. And that's why I want to take the school, my program, whatever. But, there's a school called Cali down here. Cali. Not California. It's really, they call it Cal, Cowley, not Cali. It's called Cali. But we make a joke about it because, when people won't act right or school won't act right, we sing that song. We're going back to Cali, 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 going back to Cali. I don't think so. I love that song. Matter of fact, when I get off of here, just to get hype, because I'm calling them tomorrow. I'm calling them tomorrow. And yeah, it's like that. And I don't care. But anywho, yeah, I'm calling them tomorrow and I'm going to see if they got one of the classes that I want, because I told them I don't want to take my classes online. I can go to school to Kingdom Come. I can go to school down there in Virginia. I can go to school over there in Washington or Wyoming. If I'm going to take a class online, I don't got to be with you guys. I told you I don't want to do that. Now you got me stuck. So you think I got all the time in the world because I'm already where I wanted to be when I ended this journey. I'm already where I am. This is just extra. Because they playing games with me. They're playing games with me, and I don't like that. You know what I'm saying? Don't tell me you're going to grandfather some of my classes in on a prereq. You got to have prereqs. You understand what I'm saying? Now I'm taking all these tests to test in because you won't. Because if you're not, I could have done this a long time. And you know what? I could have done this with any school. And here's the bad thing about the whole situation. I took the classes with you guys. Now, if you guys did not have the bridge program 15 years ago, but guess what? Cali had it, Brown Mackie College had it, Butler had it, And they took the classes from what I know, the girls that went to school with me, and they went and they bridged over into their program with the same classes that I have. Now you guys are sitting there talking about, well, that was for the other program. This was for another program. You're not even making sense. And then they're going to turn around and say, well, they did that 15 years ago. If you would have done it 15 years, it's the same class. So what's the problem? You told me before we got to this point that you were going to do it. Now there's a question. There shouldn't be a question, and y'all got to go get verified that it can, you can do this, you can do that. You shouldn't have told me you was going to do it. That's what you shouldn't have told me. You shouldn't have told me that we're going to grandfather these in because you took them with us. And now you're saying, but we wasn't accredited for that program. I don't freaking care. It's the same class that the other girls went and took. Now that you are accredited for this program, it doesn't change the fact. Anyway, you guys. Cassie said Rudy's mom, Janie, filed a police report on Grizzly Hood News, also saying she was hit in the head by a black man. Okay. Anyway, I don't know nothing about that. It doesn't matter. I'm going to just get all my classes all over. I'm going to just be a 57. I'm just going to be a 57 everywhere I go. I'm going to be a 57, and I'm going to have classes all over the place, and we're going to all put it all together, and we're going to make stew. They're going to be thinking I'm going to need this, and I'm going to already have it because I'm going to be done, took it over there. And they won't give you credit for work experience. Well, they're saying they got to talk to this higher hierarchy person that's saying, well, see, we don't give the TEAS test no more. And so maybe they'll give you credit because you've been a nurse for 15 and you've already taken the NCLEX. Let me tell you something. When you've already taken the NCLEX and passed the first time that you took it, why would you take all these other tests to prove your competency? Tell me. Tell me that. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the taking like the bar, Okay. Y'all ain't understanding what I'm saying. Y'all don't get what I'm saying. But anyway, nevertheless, let's talk about Rudy right here. So he talked to the interviewers after this report. He was missing for 8 years. Now, I know I would like, let me go ahead and get in the commentary. You guys go ahead and share the live if you like. But I would like to just go ahead and talk about this. But it's like, this is like, we need to watch this case because this is what, and I'm just going to be honest with you, victims, this is what victims do. This is what victims do. So after a week of reports and authorities coming forward with information on the Rudy Farias case, the man who everyone thought was missing, he spoke about what he dealt with during the time he was said to be missing. But police report he was actually at home the 8 years he couldn't be found. Okay? As if he says, this is what he says. It felt like I was living in a prison. I'm going to share something with you guys. I know we're going to get into it. And I know Woke the God is going to call and we're going to talk because I try to tell her and I think it was somebody else. I can't remember was it Tina or was it Valerie? But we talked a little bit, and I tried to say, hey, calm down. I mean, everybody's like, the mama need to be locked up. And I said, hey, hold on. Hold up, swole up. Why would the mama be locked up and the victim is saying she didn't do it? Now, Malcolm X or whatever, his name is not Malcolm X. Cornell X is sitting there saying, this is bad. He said this, he said that, and I got the proof. And he probably do. But if the victim is saying she didn't do it, then guess what? They can't go putting people in jail and all this other stuff. She done got to the child. She done got to him. But here's the thing I'm going to share with you. So someone told me that he is incompetent. He's slow. I'm going to share with you words that this boy speaks. He understands everything. And I'm going to tell you what he said too. You know, if there was some sex going on, he was in agreement with it. You guys hear me? He was in agreement with it. And this is what I said off alive. You know, when we're talking, I said he was in agreement with it because guess what? He wanted to get high. Now, was he still in his right mind? Because you know what I'm saying? Like she done raised this kid getting high, mushrooms, crack, cocaine, lithium, acid, heroin, you name it, you know. And so if he wanted to get high and everything, and when he did get high, because he thinks that's cool, and his mother allowed him, and they were just like this dual thing, he had sex with her. He knew it was wrong. Somebody called me and they was like, but it's against the law in Texas. It's called incest, SP. I know what it's called. But he ain't going to tell them that. See, if you go to court, they're going to say, well, you said this and you said that. And he's going to say, I didn't. You're taking it out of context. I didn't say that. Let me tell you something. You will not get a conviction. You will not get a conviction. So I believe everything Cornell X is saying because the police is lying. He did say it. But he's a victim, and they can't come out and say he said those things because he is a victim. And when you're a victim, 9 times out of 10, you're in a relationship and you're protecting the predator. You're protecting the person that's victimizing you. And this is what's happening to this kid. And she's still doing stuff, and he's still protecting her. But that's his mama. So he says, it was as if I lived in a prison. You know, Rudy said, I just wanted to be free. I just want to live my life. These are his words. This does not sound like a person that is slow developed, that can't say words, don't have words. Nobody's putting words in his mouth. In March 2015, Rudy's mother reported her son missing to Houston police, but authorities recently confirmed that Rudy returned home the next day. However, his mother was said to be deceiving the police by saying he was still missing. She would manipulate me and saying I would get arrested for speeding tickets. Rudy said it just felt like brainwashing, honestly. He says he had the free will to leave, but felt manipulated into saying and describing it as if feeling like Stockholm syndrome. This is what he said. Quote, he said he could leave, but he felt manipulated and saying he described it as the Stockholm Syndrome. You guys remember what the Stockholm Syndrome is? When a mother, say, a kid or whatever is sick and ill, getting all the sympathy, getting all the money and everything. Harming the kid so she can get money and get attention, whatever. That's how he described when he says, okay, hold on. Let me see here. Yeah, a lot of people call me today, but they told me that stuff. Whoa. Let me see. Let me go ahead and cause they say the Stockholm Syndrome is a proposed condition in which hostages develop a psychological bond with their capture. It is supposed to result from a rather specific set of circumstances, namely the power imbalance containing in hostage taking, kidnapping, abusive relationship. Okay, you guys? What is the cause of that? This is what he's saying. Typically considered a psychological defense or coping mechanism experienced by some during extreme trauma like kidnapping or domestic violence or abuse or human trafficking and stuff like that. Okay? I'm going to share some with you, and something just got through okay. So that's how he described the situation. Now, I'm going to tell you something. Okay, so we got somebody in the chat. They said something, so let me see what they're saying here. We got Soldier Girl. Soldier Girl said, not Stockholm Syndrome. They will feel safe with their objector, allegedly. Yes. Yes. It is, first of all, two-part question, Stockholm Syndrome. And he does feel safe with her. You see what I'm saying? But here's the thing. Think about what he just said. Those are not just common words. Those are not just common words that that slides off of our tongue. Because even me, I've heard it before, but it's not going to just roll off my tongue. Even in a regular conversation, I'm not going to say, oh, it's like, let me see. The analytic of this such. No, I'm not going to use those words. You know why? Because they're not common to me. So this boy used that word. Now, there's two things, the reason why he could have used that word. One is he was taught it really quick and really soon. This is what you have to say. Or he's very, very intelligent. And let me tell you, if he's intelligent, and this is what you're going to realize, he wasn't tricked or manipulated. This boy did what he wanted to do. He wanted to lay down with his mama, and he did. Okay? Okay. Y'all can sit back and be like, she did this and she did that, but I guarantee you, I'm not victimizing the victim. Because remember, first of all, you got to be a victim first. But here's the thing. He's saying he is not a victim. But check this out. Let me finish telling you what he said. When his family or friends would come over, he had to hide. Rudy says the only person he could trust was his mom. because she told him so many things he wasn't able to verify. Now, I was stuck, he says. I was stuck at home. Somebody would come up. My mom would just tell me to stay in the room. Keep the door locked. Don't let them in. Don't make a sound. He's telling them, this is what my mom would say. Go in the room. All because he done ran away one day and came back the next. Now, this boy, now remember he was 17 when all this supposed to happen. So he wasn't no little bitty baby, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 12. He's 17. So she say, hey, Rudy, go in the room. Don't make a sound. And according to Rudy, his family members would visit the home while he was missing. Okay, now check this out. He says, this quote, I would just have to listen to my family be happy and cheerful on the other side of the effing door. Now he's acting like I was mad. Like I would sit there and listen to them laugh and giggle and talk about this and talk, and I couldn't say nothing. Okay? So when he explained that, you guys, I'm just telling you, he used the explicit there. So I know he said the effing door or the mother effing door or the D door, whatever. He said that door. And I'm pointing that out for a reason. He says, I wanted to scream for them. This is what he said. I wanted to scream for them. But at the same time, I couldn't. The only person I could trust was my mom. Okay, so he just told us right there, family would come over. He would listen to them eating cake, talking about going swimming, talking about, who had a baby, talking about who just moved, and laughing and giggling, who's growing up, who's going to school, all these things for 8 years. And he would sit and just listen and would never come out. And he said he was just so mad he had to be on the other side of that door and he couldn't enjoy it with them. Okay? That's the only time he even said a cussing word about he missed something. Hey, Wanda, I see you in the building. Hey, Nancy. So, he says, in regards, here we go. In regards to claims of sexual abuse and his mother, Rudy denies them, saying he denies them. He denies them. So in regards to claims of sexual abuse and his mother, Rudy denies them, saying she didn't force herself on me or anything like that. It would never be anything like that. Just stuff that really made me uncomfortable. You hear what I'm saying? Did you just hear what I just said? He said, let's back it up because this is the whole reason. He said he claimed, so evidently what he's saying is, Cornell X is lying. He said it was, she never did force herself on me. Or anything like that. It would never be nothing like that. She just made me uncomfortable. Then he gonna turn around and say he admitted he didn't have people to ask to understand if the situation was healthy. So he didn't have nobody to say, is this okay for my mom to touch my genitals? Is it okay for her to want to kiss me, tongue kiss me in the bed and have me sleeping with her naked in the bed? But he can't understand that. But he just said the word. He was like, but it felt like Stockholm Syndrome. So Farias says he feels a lot of relief now. And it feels like I'm just at peace now. Just feels happy, you know. I feel happy. Okay. There's something else. He admits, when asked if he and his mom have a normal son-mother relationship, he stated this. Not after all of that. Not after everything she did. And to be honest, he says, I don't want one with her. He's full of it. He's protecting her. And you guys know something? I'm going to say this. I don't believe the young lad. He is protecting his mother. That is what he's doing. He's protecting her. And, you know, and when he has to cut the cord to protect her and act like, okay, if you're so mad that you don't want to have a relationship with her, if it was nothing wrong with it, but her either just telling you that they will call the police or they will pick you up, if that was okay, or even if she just gave you drugs, here's the thing, you guys, that ain't so bad. You know why I say that ain't so bad? You're saying she didn't touch you in an inappropriate way. You're saying you guys ain't had sex. You're saying you guys don't have a relationship. She did. But just because she told you to go hide yourself and gave you some drugs that, you know, you didn't mind taking, she's a horrible mom. And now you're saying, I don't want, after all of that, because hold on, you 17 and you're using big words, you know. But he says, and this is what bothers me, and then, yes, woke to God, you can call in. Because I told you. He says, when asked if he and his mother have a normal son-mother relationship, he stated, not after all of that. Not after everything she did. And to be honest, I don't want one with her. This boy is full of it. He's trying to act like he's mad at his mom because she told him to go hide in the closet. Girl, please. Hey, woke the guy, what's going on? Talk to me.
I was calling you this morning to let you know that they canceled the trial for tomorrow.
They canceled the trial for tomorrow.
The sentencing.
Oh. For Jacqueline and them?
Yep.
Okay.
Nobody knows why, but they think maybe they might have come forward with some more information.
Okay. So they canceled the trial, the sentencing. Was it the 13th? I thought it was the 25th.
Nope, it was the 13th.
Oh, okay. Cool.
And with this Rudy Farias story, I feel as if a lot of it is going to depend on whether or not they do testing of him.
Huh?
Whether or not they test him.
What do you mean test him?
Test him to determine if he has any type of emotional damage and if any of it occurred prior to the age of 18.
Well, here's the thing. Well, you're saying they're gonna test him. They can't test him. What are you talking about? They're not gonna test him. Test him for what? What are you talking about? They're not gonna test him. He don't have to agree to no test.
He doesn't have to agree to it.
And he's not.
But if he's going to therapy and he's trying to heal, there's a good chance that he will allow them to do an IQ test, and it will be best for him to see if it will open up other avenues of resources for him. Because if they determine that prior to the age of 18, he had any type of emotional instability, then he can be determined as developmentally disabled. But it has to occur before the age of 18. And if he was to get that label, that would open up the doors for some type of charges against the mother. And I know that's not what he's doing. But I think a lot of it is embarrassment.
It is a lot has to do with being embarrassed. And he said his mom would never do that. And basically just called Quinnell X a bald-faced liar. And I'm going to tell you something. Quinnell X has millions of people that listens to him. And he does go out there. He's an advocate for people that's abusing children and things of that nature. And what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. And trying. But when Quinnell said, and I guarantee you, he does got probably a recording of what that boy said. But he can't put it out. That, because first of all, he didn't tell him that he can record it. But I guarantee you the boy did say those things about his mother. Now, did he lie about it? Or whatever? Or was he telling the truth? I believe what Quinnell X said.
Yeah, I believe it too.
But you know what? Then police told him, if you don't come on and go somewhere and give a report that your mother never did, we're going to pick your mother up because it makes us look bad. Because Quinnell is saying we were in the room. And when, why would Quinnell come on and say, hey, the detective was right there, right next to me? Quinnell said, I was right. He grabbed my arm and said, I want him to stay. And he said, I sat right next to the young lad, and the detective sat right next to me. So Quinnell is closer to him. And he told me these things. And Quinnell said, the detective heard him say these things. And they're sitting there going, if you really go back and listen to the whole press conference, every time when the detective got to speak on the thing, he would stop in the middle of the sentence and then say something else. He would not finish the sentence. Like, he'll say something like, he'll do it like this. He'll be like, well, I didn't hear him say it. We just don't do things like that. We just, you know what I'm saying? Did you hear how I just said that? He never finished answering the question. He start answering the question so he can come back and say, I really wasn't talking about that. People do that knowing that's their way out of lying. That's how they lie. That's how they lie. They'll start answering the conversation with standing strong and firm on, I didn't hear him say anything of that nature. And, it's our job to do this and do that. And I've been doing this for such and such so many years, blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, this case is a mess. It's definitely a mess. And I don't really know how it's going to turn out.
Oh, yeah, I know. But we talked about this, didn't we? And I said, hey, thank you, Miss Didi. Thank you for the super chat. Let me put you down on here because I've got several things going, but let me grab this paper real quick. And hold on. Woke the guy. Hold on. Don't go nowhere. Hold on. Okay. Thank you. Hold on. All right. I thank you. Come holler at us, sister. Thank you, Miss Didi, for the super chat. I got your both names on in there. Now, thank you very much. We appreciate you guys. We do got our Christmas in July. July the 27th coming up. It's going to be like 8 o'clock p.m. Central Time. Unless you guys change it. Now, Zan. Now, we talked about this. We talked about this. And I knew that this young lad was not gonna turn on his mom. I was like, they huh? Mm-hmm. He when the police came and said we got no, he didn't, and then they started, scooting back and saying, I didn't hear this and this, that, and the other. I said it could be only but two things. One is they don't want to say nothing, so she don't run and go to Mexico. Or he's saying he didn't say that, or he didn't mean that way. Or he just said it because he was mad at her. When you're dealing with victims, it's really easy to get to them,
Right. But I also think that, I don't know, there may be people in her past or like her family that know how manipulative she is.
Okay, here's the thing. And I hate to throw the family underneath the bus too, but I'm going to tell you something. The family knew this boy wasn't missing.
Right.
They done seen him. You remember you was telling me, you told me, you said SP, the grandmother that's passed away now, would say that this boy, she done seen Rudy, and they would say she got dementia.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Other family members seen him too.
Right.
But so now the family is, yeah, and he was at kinfolk's house, cousins. He did not, like people thinking that she just put him in a box or something. That's not true. He drove a car. He wrecked the car. He walked up and down the street. They seen him all the time. And let me tell you, but tell me this, and this is what I was trying to say to you, because we were talking, and we do know that even you can be deceived and manipulated, but he knew better. He know good and well, that he probably didn't. He probably thought, okay, I'm going to go to jail for running away or something. That ain't all that. He knew that. Come on now. He knew.
I want to believe that he knew.
No, I don't believe it. I know he knew. He knew. So every time when he did something, stole a card. See, the lie had to stop because he had the credit card in his pocket. So she couldn't say. See, here's the thing. The mama ain't saying nothing because you kept telling the police he was still missing or he was missing, and collecting money. She had a GoFundMe out. And she was collecting money. But here's the thing. Make her pay all that money back. Make her pay it back. You see, even if there was no sex involved, you got money. See what I'm saying? And that's deceptive. And anytime that you set up a GoFundMe and you get money and you done got all these people's money because you're saying your son was missing, he was never missing, that was a lie, then you need to give all that money back. And you know what? They need to make her pay the city, the state, or Texas, because a lot of police officers were looking for this kid. And agencies was looking, Texas EquiSearch was looking for this kid. He could have been looking for a real kid that was really missing, but she got him locked up in the room. And I'm going to tell you something. I really don't believe she had him locked up. You know what I'm saying? I really don't. I'm just being honest with you. And I'm not trying to pick on the victim because he is a victim, but I don't think he was that deceived. Sometimes people want to be in a situation, and then when it looks all bad, they already told you the truth. The first time they spoke, they told you the truth. But when it looks bad, now you embarrassed, or we're not going to understand why you laid down with your mom, or it's okay to French kiss her. Maybe you was high, maybe you was drunk, and maybe she did do these things, but you was over the age too. And the way that this boy talked, he had an education. And he, read books, or he watched TV or whatever. But he is not dumb, stupid, or naive. He understands. And that's what Quinnell X said too. He was very articulate. He knew exactly what he was saying. And now, only thing he's doing is protecting his mama still. See what I'm saying? And right now he's saying he don't want to have a relationship with her, and it's not even healthy. A son-mother relationship. I guarantee you know what? And I guarantee you somebody's going to report on it. But I guarantee you he's going to go right back into that relationship with mama. Because that's all he knows. And he liked it. You take 8 years, and I believe, and I'm just saying, I don't care. Somebody can get mad at me. It happened way before he was 17.
I believe that.
Now, even though that he has big words and he knows what those words mean, because sometimes I've ran into people and I can't explain it. Trust me, I cannot explain it. They are very smart in a lot of how to manipulate people and how to lie and act very cunning. And, I don't know. And that's why sometimes when women call me and they be like, oh, this. Sometimes I don't even want to listen to what they have to say. Because it's like you act like you don't even understand common sense. You know what I'm saying? But you got a whole family and you've been in 2-3 relationships and you got a house and you got a car and you got a job, but you're acting like you don't understand this and you don't understand that. And then, and you want to, you know what I mean? Right. I don't blame him, Soldier Girl, but I do believe he knew. I don't believe he was manipulated. I believe he knew. See, being manipulated is when you really don't know. And you was conned, bamboozled, gaffled, whatever, tricked, betrayed, whatever. I don't think he was, I think he wasn't tricked, bamboozled, all that other stuff. I believe, and I'm just telling you what I believe, that he wanted them drugs and he wasn't working, and mama was giving it to him, and he was giving her what she wanted. That's what I believe. Okay, explain. I know our time is almost up, but I remember you told me something. I want you to explain to them about this mother having other the relationship, the internet stuff. Tell them what you told me.
Okay, so the mother had several online relationships, boyfriends online, where she had extensive, sexually explicit conversations with this other person online. But when they pull up the IP address, it all comes back to the mother. So she had like 10 different relationships. That's 20 different accounts. 10 where she was the person looking to meet someone, and 10 accounts where she was the man that she met. And she actually would go back and forth and have conversations with herself, sexually explicit conversations with herself online.
So this is what she said. Did y'all hear? Did y'all hear what Zan just said? The mother had all these accounts. She had met some guys. Just say, for instance, I don't know the numbers, but 10 guys on there that wanted to have a relationship with this mama, Janie. That's her name, Janie. And she would be like, hey, would you come over there? I want to meet you. Why don't we go and have coffee? And then I will do this to you. I will suck your suck, and you can lick my lick, and we can kiss, and all this other stuff. And the whole entire time, guess what? It was her. She was talking to herself. So if the person's name was Johnny, she was Johnny. So Johnny would write back to her and say, yeah, I like that we met today. And I like what you gave me. And I want to do it again. And all this other stuff. And you make me feel so good. And it was nobody but mom. And why would she do that? Why would she have these relationships with people that really didn't exist?
Well, she could do it for one or two reasons.
Okay.
One, she's really crazy. And that could very well be. And so, you're getting attention from other people online that are following your relationships. But I believe that she might have been using these relationships to try to make her son jealous.
Exactly. And I believe that too. Because that's probably when he was like, you're mine, or whatever.
Right.
Let me see. Brown Sugar says she sent me something. Of course, mom is mental. She could see something crazy. Some. And the mom was supposed to be married to all these people, and it was like she was married to this one guy. I can't remember his name, and he went and got an annulment because she was already married to somebody else. Let's see. I don't know what this is that you sent me. Request for abstract of judgment. Reinstate case motion. I don't know what that is. I think that's what Brown Sugar was sending in. Also, it doesn't tell us what the specifics are, but that could be the judgment against Janie, that the man wanted out of that marriage because he was like, she's married to some other men. And then I did read, and I'm just saying, I'm just going to keep it real. I'm not just going to throw something out there and let y'all think something, that the other man that she's allegedly supposed to be married to, it was supposed to be common law marriage. But you know, if you stay with somebody and you guys buy things together and you file your taxes with them and stuff, and you stay with them for a certain amount of time, that, yeah, you definitely, you know, and if you said you were married and you guys told everybody you was married, and I don't know what this man, he wanted out that marriage. He was like, you know, this woman crazy.
Right.
He didn't want to have nothing to do with her. He was like, I'm done. Yep. That's what it was all about.
So this story can kind of, it's just weird.
It is. It is.
It's definitely the first that I've ever heard of its kind. I've never heard of anything like this.
You know what's going to happen? And I said this, you know. I believe she's going to get charged some little bitty things, like a little slap on the wrist. She's going to have to take some classes or whatever. And he's going to go back to his mother. And I guarantee you, he'll have a relationship with her sexually, and he won't tell nobody. I believe he's in love with his mama.
Well, I'm waiting to see.
In a very unhealthy way.
X is going to release those tapes.
He can't.
Why?
He will get sued big time.
Why? They knew he was recording.
Nope. First of all, it's a HIPAA law. Even if they knew he was recording, it's against HIPAA. Okay? You know? And then, yeah, and then he would get sued. And so you remember the mother called him in on this.
Right.
And so, you know, I wouldn't trust her with a 10-foot pole. Cornell X has a lot to lose just to prove that he didn't lie. He don't have to prove that he didn't lie, because everybody believed what Cornell said. Because why would Cornell say this about a person? He was too mad and angry and everything. And you know what I believe? I believe Cornell was thinking, why they just not arresting her? Cornell got other things to do, you know?
Right.
But I'm going to tell you something. And I'm not going to say it on here. You know, when we talk, you know, some of the things I feel like I am biased about, you know, and certain type of people or whatever, you know.
Right.
So, you know, they'll get you caught up in a thing trying to. That's why when people come to me and they say, hey, SP, you know, I'm in this fight. And I say, well, go sit down somewhere. No, they're doing this to me. They're doing that to me and all this other. Well, say something. No, I don't want to say anything. Well, why are you telling me? You want me? Yeah, you want me to go talk to them and tell them, yeah, to the H to the no. If you're not going to do it, I'm not going to do it. Ain't going to have me looking like an idiot and you sitting there talking about, I don't know what she's talking about. Because my mama always told me, if somebody take you to a fight or wherever, and they won't get out the car, you know what? You take your butt home. Because there's a reason why they won't. Yeah. And they have you sitting there fighting for them, and you sitting there fighting and telling the truth, and they sitting there lying, talking about you lying. That's why when, and we're almost done, but you know, like when women be in a abusive relationship or a cheating relationship, and they tell their best friend, and I say, hey, Zed, I believe my husband's cheating on me. And I believe that, okay, and not only that, he hit me in the eye, and I got a black eye, so nobody can see me right now. And so therefore, but that's what happened. And then Zan, being a best friend, saying, I hate him. And then I'd be like, no, but we just made love last night and he's a good guy. And why are you so mean to him? And girl, you just jealous. That's what women do.
That is exactly what they do.
And then they go back and make good love to the person that just did them this hurt or embarrassed them and cheated on them and hit them in the eye. And then then I don't want to talk to you no more because you think bad of my boyfriend. You think bad of my husband. You think bad of him because, girl, that was nothing. You just tripping. You just want what I got. That's how women are.
I totally agree with you on that, SC.
That's why when people come to you and say, could you help me? You better watch who you help. Yeah. You sit back because it becomes your problem. And it's not your problem. Soldier Girl says, Cornell says he got proof. He said he was SA, but in the interview, Rudy is saying these things didn't happen, but he is in denial because kissing on the lips at that age and sleeping in the bed with mom is sexual abuse. Yeah. Oh, they did more than that. Trust and believe.
Oh, yeah, they definitely did more than just kiss.
And Cornell is not going to get there and that victim and put all of that out there. He's just not going to do it. But I guarantee you it happened. I don't have to be there. I know. We could be nature fighters, but people, if they don't speak up, you can't speak up for somebody that won't speak up for themselves. They'd be like, I'm too scared, or I don't want to, and I'm gonna say this lightly. So we got 2 residents, and they were fighting. Like every night, they would fight. 2 males, and we couldn't figure out. Like both of them really is wheelchair bound, but one is more, active than the other. And it would be like, oh, I was. So one night, both of them was on the floor. And we getting them up and all this other stuff. And, we got to have the horror lift to lift them up and all, because one of them's huge and all this. We like, well, I was helping the other one get up or something. And you know what? I went to my boss and I said, something ain't right. Why was both of them on the floor? You know what I'm saying? And like, we something going on. It's like, oh, they fight because I said this and they fight because of that. And then they talk to me in private. One of them talked to me in private. And the one talked to me in private. Let's just say his name is Jimmy. And so Jimmy, and the other one name is Peter. So Jimmy is the thinner one and Peter is the bigger one. So Jimmy say to me, he beat me up at night. He hit me 10 times in the head or whatever. And I'm like, okay. So I tell my boss and stuff. They didn't move Jimmy and Peter. So another night come, Peter says to me, I'm gonna beat Jimmy up tonight. I said, why? He was like, because he lied on me. I said, you better not touch Jimmy. You better not touch Jimmy. You know what I'm saying? And he looking at me, he was like, but I am. I said, no, you're not. You're not gonna do that. And couldn't figure it out or anything. So I wasn't there the other night. I wasn't there. But I get this text message that's saying that they're removing Jimmy out of the room because Jimmy and Peter done had another fight. So Jimmy allegedly supposed to have taken, which one was Jimmy? Jimmy was the bigger one or Peter was the bigger one? Anyway, so Jimmy took Peter's soda and drunk it, allegedly, and they got in a fight, and so Jimmy said, I don't want you to call the police or such and such, but they moved him. So then they moved him again. But they wouldn't move him when I told them to. So the other night, I was asking Jimmy, I said, Jimmy, what's going on? And then you know what Jimmy said to me? Jimmy said, Peter's trying to have sex with me. He's mad and he's been trying to have, and I think that's the whole thing. I think it ain't been no soda was drinking and he lied or whatever. I think when we found them two men on the floor, they were scrapping because Jimmy told me Peter's trying to have sex with me. And I think that's been the whole thing. You know what I'm saying? But when Jimmy talked to everybody else, Jimmy don't tell him the same thing he tells me. They moved him now, but I'm just saying. Sometimes you're scared of your person that's victimizing you, and you don't want people to sit there and laugh about, somebody wanting to have sex with you and hitting you and fighting because you didn't lie the first time and said it was, you drunk his pop and you lied on him. And then when we found both of you guys on the floor and one's running to the door and we're like, what's, and they're like, huh? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's just, but then when they talk to Jimmy don't say nothing about that. Matter of fact, my boss said, I was just with Jimmy all day. Why he ain't said nothing to me? And you know what I said? I don't know. But I cannot go and advocate for somebody that when I do say something, you don't say anything.
Right.
And yet they do be embarrassed. And they do know that I tell my boss and my boss tell his boss and they got to have all a meeting about it. And then, people want to have a meeting and say, do you think it's true or do you think it's not true? And then you got somebody that, one of the bosses or in the ones in management, they got kids that work there. That's certain nurses or med aides or activity or something. They're talking about it. So then the kid not understanding how embarrassing this is and how it's supposed to not been put out. And now the whole facility knows about it. And now they're walking around like, you know what I'm saying? And you got to live in that. You got to live in that. You got nowhere to go. You want to hear that all day, every day. So, because that's how it goes. That's how it gets out. And then, especially if Peter find out that Jimmy said something, Peter will sit there and say, he lying. Because Jimmy done lied already and said something about, oh, I drink his soda. And he got mad at me because I drink. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
Once you tell a lie and you put it on record that it's all about a soda or it's all about a lie that you done told or you turned to TV or whatever, and everybody's doing this and doing that, and that's what you said. Now come to find out, it's something else. It's hard to make I'm not saying you got to make a case of it. I'm not saying that, but and trust and believe. I do believe that's what the whole situation was, but you can't go to court saying this guy is trying to rape me in the middle of the night every night, and I was scared to tell them because you done lied and lied and lied, and you got me looking all stupid. They didn't even, when I was telling them to move the men, because, I felt something wasn't right. Like, How is both of y'all on the floor? Oh, I was trying to help him. Yeah, he was trying to help me. The heck? Why is both of you on the floor? You both got physical, problems. Neither one of you can walk. I said both of them's wheelchair bound. So how was you going to help him off the floor and you in the chair yourself? You can't take one step. I think you both is on the floor because something was going on.
Right.
And one was trying to get the other one off, and y'all both fell on the floor, and now nobody was going to have any physical activity. You know?
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Anyway. All right. Anything you want to share? I'm just saying, you got to be very careful with these cases. And I think Cornell is just going to just drop that case and call it a good day, because basically he went out to help this young lad. He's trying to help the young lad. And you can't help somebody that won't help.
True.
You cannot.
Probably would be in his best interest to just leave it.
Yeah, it would. Yeah, it would. Because
probably be in his best interest to leave it alone.
He's protecting that mama, and he's gonna protect that mama.
Right.
All righty.
All right. Thank you for letting me come up here, SP.
Thank you for coming. Yeah.
No problem. You have a good day now.
All righty, you too.
All right.
All right. So you guys, yeah. See, there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things that's always on my mind. And so, Anyway, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. I had other things I was going to do, and I don't think I'm going to do them now, but, I'm a little frustrated. So, Zen, I love talking to Zen. Her and I don't talk to everybody like I used to because I don't have a lot of time. But trust and believe, I'm still taking care of the things I need to, the dog and things, and, the things that needs to be taken care of. But when I do get to talk to people, we share information, and I try not to take you guys' information and act like I got it, so I want you guys, when you give me information I think is really good, just tell the people because I do know that you guys, when you're watching this stuff, you've got you've got a mind of your own what you think. Now, when we talk about it, don't get mad at me if I'm not in agreement with you, but I just be like, whoa, I've seen this coming. I seen it. I did. I seen it coming. I was like, you guys, y'all can hang it up. When they said, and I said this, they said that there's no charges against that mama. And everybody was like, I didn't hear that. I was like, shh, you can hang it up. That boy is telling them mama ain't touched him in that kind of way. And after he put it down on the record, you can't get no conviction. So even if they took it to court, and Cornell do have a recording of it, which he probably do, there's still 12 people is not going to convict that mama, because that boy going to sit up there and say, I did say that, but I said it because I was mad at her. You guys get it? Or I said it because I don't know why I said it. I was still on some drugs. They're not going to sit there and say, well, let's put mama in jail, because they do know that he's got a history of drugs. They do know that. And something's not mentally right upstairs between his mom and him. And so that's the way the cookie crumbled. All right, you guys. I'm sad to hear that they cancel the sentence, but maybe that's a good thing that they cancel the sentence, because maybe we will be able to bring Classic or Sincere or both home, and maybe somebody's trying to make a deal even after the fact. Because you remember on the King Hill case, she was convicted, or I think she was convicted, and then she went and told them what happened to have a lighter sentence, and she did get a lighter sentence. It was still heavy, but she was looking at like no probation, no parole, no, never ever seeing. But she now got a chance after spending 20, 30, 40 years in prison to get out, So, all right, you guys, I'm going to get off of here. Be good, be safe, and be nice to each other. Bye.